Yo, what is up everyone? This is OJ over here from PlayerEssence and welcome to another Nintendo Switch news video. Today we've got 4 awesome topics for you guys, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So, I'm not 100% sure if I already talked about this in the video or not, but either way I'm going to talk about it again, and Nintendo has confirmed that you will not be able to have any type of second screen experience with the Nintendo Switch, and some people are a little upset about this, but I am not. Now, I've said many times that I feel that the Nintendo Switch is an evolution of the Wii U, pretty much a Wii U done right, but the one major thing that people seem to be pointing out is like, well, there's no dual screen gaming, which I understand, but remember, a lot of what Nintendo Wii U was about was being able to take your games away from a TV. You don't need a TV. Well, the Nintendo Switch is like 100% you don't need a TV. You don't even need to be in your house. You can be anywhere and play it. So it's like a huge evolution of that concept. But the one main thing, like everyone's saying, there is going to be no second screen experiences according to Nintendo. Whenever you dock that baby, you can't see the screen. It's covered up. It probably shuts down a bit, goes into some type of console mode, and then you just play it on the TV. When you take it off the dock, there is no other thing that still leaves up on the TV. You switch the screen right back to there. To me, that is focused, that is concise, that is clear. There's no confusion, there's no looking back and forth. You just play your game. You're going to have normal controls that you can use. They have the 2 Joy-Cons and then the grip that you can use to put them together for one controller with the casing on the back, or you can buy that sleek looking Nintendo Switch Pro controller and play and operate the whole system from there. I've said many times this is the least gimmicky system Nintendo's made in a decade, so not everything that I wanted, but still, at least I can sit down and play my games on my TV, 1080p, whatever the case is, without having to use a Wii U gamepad or Wii remotes or anything like that. So I'm super happy about that. Next, we're going to be moving on to a new rumor from Laura Kate Dale and also Emily Rogers saying that the Nintendo Switch will be 100% region free. So no more, oh, you can't play this game when you're here, and oh, you can't play this game when you're here. It looks like Nintendo has listened for the time being, but we still have to wait and see. Here's what Laura had to say on our Twitter, saying region-free source is the same person who told me reveal was today, multiple hours before Nintendo announced. Emily Rogers also stated, as I previously reported in my September 2nd post, Nintendo Switch is 100% region-free. Nintendo hasn't officially said anything. I'm just reconfirming it again from my multiple sources. So there you go. Looks like this thing is going to be region-free. Just be able to play games anywhere, and I think that's really convenient for people who travel a lot, and especially with this Nintendo Switch, you're definitely going to want to be able to just pick up a game if you're, you know, out of the country and you're going somewhere else and just play whatever you want. And I think that's the way it should be, especially from like the UK and like United States or like Australia. It's like, wait a minute, is there a reason why if you buy a game in the UK, like even though it's in English, like you shouldn't be able to just play it on your system if you live in like North America or you live in like New York? That's freaking stupid. So yeah, definitely happy about it being region free. Next, Unreal Engine is thrilled to be partnered with Nintendo to help developers bring their games to Nintendo Switch. Now, this was the big controversy last generation when that guy Mark Rain went out there and they asked, like, hey, is Unreal Engine 4 coming to the Wii U? And he started laughing. No laughs this time. First day it was revealed, bam, Unreal Engine 4 support straight from Unreal Engine. And Epic is even a partner with Nintendo to be bringing an unannounced game to the Nintendo Switch, maybe Paragon or something like that. We have to wait and see. So according to the official Unreal Engine Twitter page, we're thrilled to be partnered with Nintendo to help Unreal Engine 4 developers bring their games to the Nintendo Switch. Good stuff all around, guys. Even if the Nintendo Switch is weaker than the competition, which I think it is, but it's competing against Kindles, it's competing against Apple, it's competing against Microsoft, it's competing against Sony. I think it's a nice balance between all of those for the most part, and you have Unreal Engine 4 support. So if a game is on Unreal Engine 4, it can probably run on Nintendo Switch. Now, there might be some moderations that they do have to do to the game, but if the developer is willing to take that, at least they have a base there of, yes, this system can run Unreal Engine 4. It's not like the Wii U where Unreal Engine 3 was more of a better fit for that system. This system can go with Unreal Engine 4, so I'm really happy to get that official confirmation and finally see that, because that means games like Final Fantasy 15, games like Kingdom Hearts, can all come to Nintendo Switch in some way, shape, or form. So there's still some stuff that we need to know about the specs of the system, but maybe this next post will help us with that. But remember, guys, this is a 100% rumor, and I know a lot of you guys are thinking, what, rumor? Even after it's been revealed? Yes, there's always going to be rumors leading up to something. There's always going to be rumors afterwards, guys. That's just the name of the game. But let's go ahead and get right into it. This comes from NW Player 123 talking about a leaked as far as specs from the dev kit. So the Nintendo Switch dev kit stats possibly leaked. Okay, so here's what she had to say, or he, I'm not really sure, had to say on Twitter about the system's specs for the dev kits. 4 ARM Cortex A57 cores, max 2 gigahertz, NVIDIA 2nd generation Maxwell architecture, 256 CUDA cores, max 1 gigahertz, 1024 flop/cycle, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 25.6 gigabytes / VRAM shared, 32 gigabyte storage, max transfer of 400 megabytes per second, USB 2.0 and 3.0, 720p 6.2 inch IPS LCD screen, 1080p at 60 frames per second, or 4K at 30 frames per second max video output. Capitance, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, method 10-point multi-touch. So I think it can go back and forth for captive screen, kind of like the old school, and then also a multi-touch screen as well. Here's the thing, guys, I'm not super tech savvy with all this means. What I do know is that Nintendo has a very modern system that they're making, like NVIDIA did say with the APIs and what they're doing with the GPU. Dev kit specs sometimes are not, of course, indicative of the final product. It could be much stronger than that, could be the same as that, we don't know. So I wouldn't read too much into this. Remember, it is a rumor, so please take it with a grain of salt. But overall, based on what NVIDIA has said, based on what we've seen on the screen apparently with the Mario and some of the other games, it's going to be a capable system. But it's not going to be, of course, like a super powerhouse, but it's definitely going to be capable. But the biggest thing is probably the architecture, guys. I think that's the biggest thing out of anything. You can talk about power, which, yes, I understand power is very important, and trust me, power is important, but the biggest thing is the architecture. And if this system at least has the architecture enough to where it got Bethesda interested somewhat, to where they say, oh yeah, we're pledging support, or potentially could have a Skyrim game, we have to wait and see for the official confirmation, but they showed it off at the reveal, so I'm pretty sure that Skyrim Remastered is coming to the Nintendo Switch. You know, like, if they are behind that, then I do think that the architecture of this system is much better than what Nintendo has done in the past, and they have a shot at getting far more games, especially if this thing starts selling. I'm still a little concerned about a couple different things, but like I said, I think this is a much better thing than the Wii U. Obviously, this has a lot more going for it than Wii U had going for it when it was launched. So I'm just excited just to see what comes of it, and it's not going to be too far away here. Let me know what you guys think about these 4 stories. Put your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys are more content like this going forward in the future. And I want to just say thank you to all of the people who have been liking my videos, who have been watching, even despite me being super wrong. I really do appreciate all the support you guys have given me on Twitter and here on YouTube. That really means a lot to me. And also make sure you subscribe to PlayerEssence for all your news, reviews, trailers, tips and tricks, and everything in gaming. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you for the next video. Peace.